Hello TVI Universe and welcome to this week's live podcast when I give you the do's and don'ts on how to get your first 100 subscribers. Don't go anywhere. So guys, this week I'm going to give you lots of tips. If you're just joining us, I'm Dave from the TVI Universe, where I'll give you weekly YouTube and filmmaking tips on a Tuesday, 7 o'clock, and here on our live podcast where we go in much longer and deeper detail. So let's crack on with the do's. So the first do, as silly as it sounds, is consistency. It might sound daft, but it's amazing how many people don't do that in this day and age, or they just think, I'll just post willy-nilly and then moan that they're not getting the views. So it's very important. So what do I mean by that? Well, obviously consistency, but just think like, pick a time in the week, so say like a Tuesday or Thursday or the weekend, and go, right, I'm going to post every week at that particular time, or if that's too much, start off with once a fortnight, and your viewers will remember that and they'll get used to that. And also YouTube's mechanics are extremely clever nowadays, and if it picks up that you're posting videos at certain times, it will post and it will share those videos more around YouTube, so more people get it on their, you know, selected videos, suggested videos and stuff like that. But more importantly, your viewers, the people you want to pull in, will go, oh, you know, Dave's posting these videos at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, so I'm going to tune into that. You know, and as people become more, you know, more sort of, you know, connected with you and become more familiar with your channel, they'll sort of make the effort to sort of, you know, watch your video around that time, and or remember that's roughly when you're posting your video. So bear that in mind. If you don't do that, then, you know, people just, they lose interest, or they forget when you're posting. Oh, look, you just knocked a video randomly, then people sort of lose interest. And then, so leading on from that, my second tip on the do's is think about your viewers, think about your audience. It sounds daft, but it's amazing how many people don't. They just post videos willy-nilly, perhaps they're being consistent, but they're just not really thinking about who their audience are. It's really, really important. So say, for example, you're a gamer or a filmmaker like me, or even a musician, and, you know, think about your channel as a brand. That's going to be the emphasis today. Think about your channel as a brand, right? So if you're a musician or filmmaker, etc., you know, think about your audience. So if you're making, you know, if you're a musician, for example, and you're making music, if you niche down and think, right, I want to pull in people that like my style of music. So if you're an, you know, indie music, you're the next rock band, whatever the genre is, if you emphasize that, you know, in your videos, in your branding, just, you know, it's just obvious as when people go onto your channel, then you'll find then the certain type of group of people that really like that will pull into your channel, and you'll become known for that. So the same with your gamer. You know, if you become you know, just making game videos willy-nilly, people will be like, oh, okay, last week he did a strategy game, this week he's doing a shooting game on an Xbox. Okay, cool, I like games, but, you know, but if you like really niche down and think, right, I'm going to do shooters on an Xbox, or I'm going to do adventure games on the PlayStation, or vice versa, or perhaps you'll niche down and be like strategy games on a PC, or whatever it is. If you do that, you'll find you'll get more views because you're niche down, and it's easier to bring in a smaller group of people, if that makes sense, than trying to get to everybody. If you try and make videos for everybody, you'll get nobody, and you'll just end up with 5 views on your videos every week, and you'll put all that time in for nothing. So really bear that in mind. And do you know what I mean? So sort of like, so really, really think about the audience and make videos for them. Enjoy what you're doing, have passion about what you're doing, which gets into a tip in a minute. Really have passion with what you do. Make videos about stuff you enjoy, that's obvious. But really think about your viewers. What do they want? And we get to more of that in a second. So sort of reining myself in a bit. Going into the third one. So it sounds silly, but have passion. You know, if you're just doing it for the sake of it or something to do, your viewers, your fan base, they clock onto that, they lose interest. But if you really have passion about what you're doing, like, say, for example, you know, going back to the goals, my channel, like I'm sure most of you watch this now, know it's a filmmaking channel. And I make videos every Tuesday, every week now, on filmmaking tips, on cameras, editing, you know. So it's all based around filmmaking. So that's the point of my channel. And hopefully that's bringing you guys and you enjoy and get value from that. And obviously I'm very passionate about it. So, you know, so if you are passionate about whatever videos you're making, that will come off and people will connect with that and go, you know, my God, this guy is really passionate about his music, or, you know, he's really passionate about his gaming. Or if you're making maybe a YouTube channel about cooking tips or whatever, then, you know, that's something else which is quite cool, because, you know, or house hacks. I was thinking about this the other day. If you made a channel about, you know, life hacks or house hacks, you might have the best way to get a stain out of a carpet, because people, you know, they type in how-tos a lot. So that's something to bear in mind in your videos when you're titling them and stuff like that. We go into more about that later, and perhaps in other videos as well. So, right, so you've got your passion, you've got your consistency. If you're getting value from this so far, give us a like. If you just joined us, I'm Dave from the TVI Universe. If you've never seen any of my videos before, I post weekly filmmaking video tips every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And now I'm doing live podcasts, which you're watching now, either live or down the road, where I'll go into more detail in whatever theme we're talking about this week. And this week, it's the best ways, the do's and don'ts on how to get your first 100 subscribers. Let's crack on with some more. So, have a goal for your channel, which is sort of what I've been going on about already. So really have a goal about your channel. Really think, so you think about your audience, your consistency. What's the purpose? What's the point of your channel? Do you just want to get 100 subscribers? Do you want to make good content? Do you want to, so say for example, my goal is I'm a filmmaking channel. I want to make videos about filmmaking and editing tips and cameras, etc. But I want to bring value to other filmmakers and content creators and YouTubers like yourself. And I want to share my knowledge with you. That is the goal of my channel. So if someone says to you, what's the purpose? What's the goal of your channel? If you're sitting there going, well, you know, I like posting videos, but, you know, one week I do cooking, next week I do a gaming video, the week after I do some film review. And we get into more of that in detail in the don'ts later. But, you know, just think about what is the purpose of your channel. You know, people will really sense that. You know, if you're a really set musician and you're sharing your music, building your brand, going back to that again, you know, if you're a really hardcore gamer and you're perhaps bringing, you know, think about like maybe a different way on it. So if you're a musician, you want to think like, you know, what actually is the genre of your music, really push that in your videos. If you're a gamer, what can you bring that's perhaps different to bring in a niche of people, which gives you more views, grows your channel, you know, and you can niche down. You know, I've niched down. You know, I was sort of doing film reviews and this and that and everything else, but now I'm really niching down on sort of filmmaking tips and YouTube tips, you know, and I find that is really helping to grow my channel, which gets into next thing. Really connect. This is a massive do. Really connect with your viewers. So there's lots of ways you can do that. We're doing this now on this live podcast. I'm connected with you guys. You guys rock. You guys are the TVI Universe, this growing community that's growing every day. So how can you do that with your videos? You know, ask people random questions, which I'm going to do in a second. You know, when people, little silly things that might sound obvious, but when people leave comments, especially in the early stages, but I'm trying to do it more and more all the time as my channel grows. You know, if people leave a comment, if they just say a great video, obviously you know, thanks, and you really appreciate that. But if someone's like really pitched in on something particular in your video, or maybe a question you've asked, that sort of thing, you know, respond to that. And going on from that, really connect with the community of YouTube, not just your community across platforms, which I think is a really worthwhile doing, but really people just think YouTube's about posting videos. It's not. You've really got to connect with the community. Find other YouTubers that you're inspired by. Find other YouTubers that are in a similar hobbies or niche to you. Connect with them. Watch their videos. Take time to comment. You know, really think about, oh, that's cool. You might learn something from it. They might go, oh, cool. Thank you very much. And you end up with a little conversation. They go onto your channel. You get a subscribe, maybe a few likes. Perhaps, you know, if you can, try and build that up. you know, connect with other YouTubers. You see where I'm going with that? And that helps again. And, you know, they might tell their family and friends, you get more views, you know, and that's just from one person. So if you can do that with as many people as possible, that will help to grow your channel. So really connect with your viewers. And with every video, think how you're going to bring value to them. With every video, don't just post a video for the sake of it. Do your research about whatever you're making a video about, but really think, what value is this video bringing to you guys? So today, this is going to give you some do's and don'ts on how to get your first 100 subscribers and beyond. This is the value I'm bringing to you today. So really think about that. Really think about that. Okay, so if you just joined us, I'm Dave from the TVI Universe. I do weekly filmmaking tips on a Tuesday in our live podcast where I go into more details. You are watching the TVI Universe and you are part of this community by watching this. Thank you so much for joining us. We're now going to get into the don'ts. And on today's video, we are looking at the do's and don'ts and how to get your first 100 subscribers and beyond. And so here's some don'ts, right? So I'm going to underline this one. If you've got your tea with you, have a sip. That's good. So, the first don't, as I'm losing my voice, sub for sub. I can't highlight this enough. It's a biggie, people. Now, I'm going to really emphasize these don'ts because these are things I've all done and I've learned the hard way from. And I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. I want you to learn from my mistakes and move forward quicker. So don't do sub for sub. I will tell you as briefly as I can why you shouldn't do that. Simple reason, it hurts your channel. You know, okay, you've gained, 10, 20, 50 subscribers, but they're all just pointless because most of the time you'll probably find a week or so later your subs will go down because they've just unsubbed you anyway, because the brutal truth is they wanted you to sub to them, so they think they've got loads of subs. They're not interested in your videos. They're not going to watch your videos. They might watch one briefly, then go off it. YouTube will sense this because how YouTube works, it will see how long people actually watch your video. Really look at all your graphs and data. It really gives you a really good insight. And if if people are literally watching 2 seconds, you get a drop, no one's watching it, it won't share it to anybody. If you're sharing it consistency at the same time each week, people at least between 50 and 70% of the people watching it go to the end of the video. YouTube goes, great, I'm going to show it to 100, 200, 300, and you'll find, and this is why you'll get random views like weeks later because somebody came across your video on the suggested videos, and then boom, YouTube will just show it to 100 people. And if you've got a good thumbnail, which is really important, something I didn't mention earlier, then people will click on that, it will put your click rate up, and you know what I mean, it's just a catalyst. So don't do sub for sub, it's just pointless. I've done it, and all it did was hurt my channel. All it would do is hurt your channel. There's really no value from that. And later in the video, I'm going to give you a few little tips just for the core TVR universe on how to help improve your videos, get even more views. That's later on. Right, so please don't do sub for sub. I think you get the idea. Just don't do it. It just hurts your channel. Random theme change. Right, this is the biggie. Random theme change. I'm just going to have a little brief look to see if we've got any things right. So we're working, we're all going gravy. This is something else. All the do's and don'ts I've done, all the don'ts I've learned the hard way. Don't change your theme. Really important. What do I mean by this? So say for example, you start off as a wrestling channel. I'm a big wrestling fan. I sort of went in that direction briefly, and you're building up your audience. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll know that wrestling fans are very passionate about wrestling. So you'll get people connecting with your videos and blah blah blah. And then suddenly one day you think, what, I'm bored of that now. I'm going to make film reviews, and that's great. But now all the people that subscribed to me watching your channel for the last 6 months are now like, huh? I like films, but I'm here for wrestling. And now you're making film reviews, and then 6 weeks down the road, you're now making gaming videos, and people are like, what? And I've done this, so I know firsthand it hurts your channel, because every time you do that, you're starting again pretty much, because all the people that subscribe to your channel, you find they just leave, or if they don't unsub, they just won't watch your videos, and then you sort of have to have build up again. You'll probably notice the first good few videos you make. Now the first 50 videos you make will be crap. I'll be brutally honest with you. You might not want to hear that, but if you look at the first 100 videos of mine, probably rubbish, most of them. You know, a few good ones here and there, but, you know, and you're learning. Something that Think Media say a lot, and I'm really inspired by Think Media and Nick Newman, but something that Think Media always say is start before you're ready is a massive do. You know, don't think about it, don't ponder over it for 6 months or 4 years. Just make your first video on your phone and just take it from there. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's get back on it. So, don't change your thing, which leads into the next don't. Splitting your audience. Splitting your audience. So basically, say, and this is again something I've done, and all it really did was hurt my channel, and will probably hurt yours if you use it. So say, I don't know, you're making gaming videos because you're really passionate about gaming, but you're also doing, say, film reviews or filmmaking tips or whatever on the side. And that's what I was doing. I was trying to do both. And what you do is you end up then, you get some people come for that, and then they'll come on your channel one week and perhaps they're doing, you know, you're doing your film reviews, but really they're only interested in wrestling or whatever the other part. Just, do you see what I'm going at? So this is confusing, and then people lose interest because you probably won't, it's probably hard to be consistent. Or even if you are being consistent, people just like, well, I came here for the wrestling videos, I'm not really interested in the film reviews. So you see what I'm going with that. Splitting your audience is just a big waste of time, if I'm honest. I'm sorry, you know, it's just true. So, if you just joined us, I'm Dave from the TVI Universe. I make film making tips every week on Tuesdays. They get posted on Tuesdays, and a live podcast that I bring to you. And if you're getting value from this video, if you're learning something today, give us a like. Just knock that like button and share this video with family and friends. If you're already subscribed, awesome. You are the core of the TVI Universe. If you haven't, you just came across this video today or down the road, feel free to subscribe to get all this great content and learn more about filmmaking and join the TVI Universe community. So welcome to all of you watching now. If you watch this live, awesome. If you're watching it later, you guys rock. Big shout out to everyone watching this video. So I just want to get on to a few little tips. So we're doing the do's and don'ts. And for you core fans, thank you so much for getting to this part of the video. We're now on 17 minutes or whatever it is. If you've got this far, awesome. And as a reward, I'm going to give you a few little tips. Now, just before we start onto that, I'm going to ask you a question after the break. I love doing that. You probably gathered that. So, before we crack on, give us a like if you're getting value from this video. And I'll ask you today's question. What makes a good video to you? What is it that attracts you to think that's a good video? Write in the comments below or in the description, but in the comments below, write in the comments below what makes a good video. Do you prefer sound? Does it have to have good quality? Are you literally just interested in just whatever you're searching for? Are you a type of person like me that likes to put in like how to do this, how to do that? Do you just like funny things? You know, I don't know, people falling over, stuff like that. You know, I know a lot of people that watch like those like car rage things when you see like dodgy drivers and stuff like that. So just comment below. It'd just be interesting to see what you guys value as a good video, and think about that. So as a YouTuber or content creator, for those of you watching this for that, think about that when you're making your videos. Think how I can make my video better, and this is going to lead into some secret tips I'm going to give to you, to the core TVI universe who've got to this far in the video, on how to really make your videos better. Right? Sounds silly, and what I'm going to say to you is title your videos well. It sounds silly, but it's very important to do so. So think in your title, say if you're making a video about a certain game, you might want to put, rather than just doing it about the game, you might be like, I don't know, how to kill the certain bad guy. Or if you're making a wrestling thing, it might be like, you know, the 10 best female wrestlers of all time. You know, stuff like that. So try and put in things that people search. And the way you can actually help to word this, because you might think you're wording it best, but to actually see how people are actually typing in that question, if you start to type that into the YouTube search, it will come up with 10 rough ways of how you're about to type it. And the truth is, they're the things that have actually been physically typed in. And if you make one of them your title, or within part of your title, you'll find you'll get more views. Also, YouTube recommends that if you add your title within your description, YouTube likes that within its mechanics, and that helps identify what type of video you've made, and it will push that video more. The obvious, as silly as it sounds, make good content. Don't just make videos willy-nilly. Now, it's really annoying because some of my best, most viewed videos are stuff I've literally just made years ago. But really make good content. Your viewers, your true fan base will appreciate that. They're like good content, and evaluate it. Take constructive. Obviously, if people just slag it off, just take the nose. Don't worry about the hate. It happens occasionally. But if you get constructive criticism where they say, I really like this, but could you do this, or blah blah blah, take that on board, and don't be too hard on yourself to the point where you're not making videos, because that's just silly. But think, right, say for example, last week's podcast went well, but it was a bit dark. So this week I'm using my floodlight, and as you can see, I'm much more lighter, and it just looks better on the camera and stuff. So think, do I need a better, start before you're ready? Just learn from your mistakes. Just make your videos. See your first 30, 50 videos even as just you getting started, learning about how to make videos. Don't think you're going to be an expert in your first video, because it ain't going to happen. I know that. I learned that the hard way. It took me years to get to a standard where I felt like my videos were half worth watching. So just bear that in mind. But start before you're ready, as Think Media always say. But you can start with your phone. So many YouTubers now are making big subscriber counts and views and stuff by just using their phone. So just record with your phone. If you don't have enough space, just record your video, edit it if you can. There's loads of editing apps. Edit it, post it. Down the road, you might want to get a dedicated camera. You'll learn about that in more other videos. So just think about all these sort of things. Do you need a better microphone? So going on to another little tip. Trying to make really effective thumbnails. That's really important, I would say. And that's something I'm learning, especially now, And I would say simplistic thumbnails. If you try to put like loads of blurry words on and try to put too much on it, it just looks messy. And I personally probably won't click on it. If it's simple, just a simple picture about, obviously, don't do clickbait. That's really irritating. And YouTube clocks onto it with certain people, and just RES's videos have started doing that, which is quite cool. But make a good thumbnail. So say obviously I'll do filmmaking, so it's like me with a camera, say, and maybe like whatever's talking about, like the Canon M50, which I'm sure many of you know how much I love that camera. Make a thumbnail about that, and people go, oh, that's cool, that's interesting. It's like a magazine, isn't it? Or I don't know, if you look at films, if it has a good like cover, see like a good poster one, you think, oh, that looks interesting. You click on that, and then you're looking at the titles and and encourage people. So look in the descriptions below. So look at my filmmaking tips and stuff like that. So just bear all that in mind. Another thing I would say is tag your videos well. The best way to tag your videos is type in different ways of how people would search for your videos. So like 3 or 4, like mini sentences, and copy and paste them into your tags. You can also add free tags in your description. I highly recommend doing that based on whatever the video is about. You'll get more views that way. I also recommend, I know there's a lot to go through, just a couple more. I highly recommend doing some playlists, but not just like ones that people have, because let's face it, most of us are lazy when it comes to, you want stuff that's right in front of you. You're not going to go looking for stuff that you don't know that's there. So think of it as, if someone comes onto your channel, they see your cool banner, they see your profile pic, and they see the top. So whatever you want people to look at, make them top videos. But don't just be lazy, but like, like a playlist of like your recommended videos. That's a really good place to start. People are like, oh, cool, that looks good. And people will click on that as long as they've got good thumbnails. And maybe under that have like, if you're a musician, you might have like, your covers, maybe other things you're doing. If you're a gamer, you could have a playlist of your recommended videos that you want people to watch, that you feel is your best work. Because obviously, think about, if new viewers are coming onto your channel, they've never seen your stuff before. Think about that. Every video you make, every time someone comes to your channel, what's the first thing they see? If they just come on and see a few random videos and no banner, no branding, they're just like, well, this is crap, and they probably won't even bother looking at anything. But if they come onto your channel and think, oh, cool banner, they've got some interesting playlists, oh, those videos look good, they click on that, And leading from that, make sure you do your end cards at your end of your videos. Do your little subscribe action button. You can just download one, just make one that says subscribe. Think about little things like that. Add links in your descriptions to your playlist that you want people to go on. As silly as it sounds, even a link to your channel, because it's getting people to sort of stay on your channel, if you will. Because if they look at your description, they're going to the description and they will look at, oh cool, I didn't know he had that playlist, and obviously it's round the same interest that, within the same genre that you're making videos about. So obviously if you're making videos all about the same sort of thing, they go, oh cool, I'm a gamer, I'm really into Call of Duty, but he or she has got a playlist on Red Dead. Oh wicked, I'll go and click on that because I like that game too. Do you see what I mean? So it's all about trying to get people to watch perhaps maybe more than one video a day, and without realising they've watched 2 or 3 videos, that's more likes for you. YouTube will go, his channel's been watched a bit today, and you will notice in your analytics, I can never say that word, in your graphs and that YouTube will then catapult that video and then will show those videos to say a few hundred people, and you then may get more views from that. So think about all that, So as you can tell, there's a lot that goes into YouTube, and again, considering all the stuff I've gone over, this is still just scraping the surface. So anyway, I hope you got value from this. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you're a core fan and you subscribe to this channel, thank you so much. And subscribe for weekly filmmaking tips on Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Our next one comes out on confidence this Tuesday, how to be confident on camera. And also, obviously we'll do live podcasts on Saturday, so pitch in for them as well. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. Hope you got value from this. Have a great day. If you watch this live, awesome. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to put in the comments below or message me personally. We can get a conversation about that. I don't mind that at all. If you have any questions about cameras, editing software, how you want to film stuff, or anything like that, I have no problem in giving you some tips and hopefully helping you out there. So that as well. Anyway, have a great day. If you watch this down the road, tomorrow, a few weeks down the road, brilliant. I hope you enjoyed this video, got value from it, and I'm going to leave you now. So have a great day, and